Eric Hershey, the Country Conjurer here, and I'm going to do this as a public post. It's also something that's been sparked by Spark Creative, so it's kind of a clever coincidence there. This week's theme is disobedient. So I'm going to be disobedient and actually go back and follow up from the prior week's post, which was order and chaos. See? So I'm disobedient because I'm not doing this week's theme, but I am doing this week's theme because it's disobedient and I'm being disobedient, so I'm not sure how that works. I'm either doing this right or I'm doing it awesome. It was one of those two. I don't know which one. So anyway, back to the order and chaos. I had posted some stuff before on my accounts that what things looked like before I had done any cleaning up in this the mess, the chaos that things were in my old area. So you can see that. Now, I also have been working on this room, which is actually my magic room. This was where I had stuff before, and I really was able to redo it. So I cleaned it all out, got all this stuff out of there. We're moving all that art supplies into a different place. Here's what the room used to look like just about a week ago as we had it opened. So that's the palette that I had to work with, and I got some red paint in there, a nice place. So here's what I've come up with. Here's my magic room. It's quite a closet, huh? So I'm going to turn the camera around here so that we can I can show you around. So here is my magic room. And this is where I'm going to be working on creating new tricks and working on practicing. I have the large practice mirror up here, a little bit of a close-up area there, but I really am going to be using my roll-on table. This is one of my new tables that's been put into my act in just the last few months. As a roll-on side table, I use this as a new pedestal table. I also have, if you've seen my table magic act, I have my hand-carved pedestal table that has the leather fringe. I use that as well. There's also my large playing cards table that I'll keep using. So I'll use those in between each other. But I have all these different areas here. I was going to give you a little bit of a tour of my room so you can kind of see what I have, and for my sake to kind of look through it and talk through it for myself to see what I have where and what I've done and what I have to work with. But I'm going to do something different. I'm actually going to give you a massive, totally bloated, overdone tour because that's what I feel like doing. So you can just kick out at any time or check it out. So let's see, I have my big practice mirror, my practice areas. This has always been where I keep on this shelf, no matter where it is. This has always been all of my stuff that I performed when I was a teenage magician, and has things that are dear to my heart and a few other extra little bits and pieces I'm going to create with. This, for example, a silk tube that's going to be turned into a punched tin lantern for a trick, but there's my ABC blocks and dove pan and hippity hop rabbits back there, which got created. I handmade my own clip-clop horses that I perform in pretty much every show because I just love those. All my family shows, which is my main type of magic, if you aren't aware of what kind of magic I do. End piece that I cut off of one of my old banners. My new banner is in there with the wood grain. And my other things stand up back there so I can get them in and out whenever I need to. My trunks with my horses on it, that all can be pulled out. I'm getting a second set of wheels for that. I move them currently underneath here so this can be moved in and out really easily. I have all these different drawers, so I have right now all these little components for different tricks in the drawers. I have things down here that are not yet put away. So not everything is in the exact place where it belongs. This is just bits and pieces of different tricks kind of put in there to make this move. Then there is a lot that needs to be put into the different drawers correctly and such. For example, there's my zombie ball in there. This is my slinky between two tin coffee cans, which I use for my cards across. Of course, you can't make things move across great distances without two coffee cans with a slinky between them, right? We all know that. I have all sorts of cool things that I put up for posters, things that are inspirational to me. There's a lot that's not up here. I don't have many signatures up here But this one was really kind of a special moment for me when I got to see the Pendragons in a sideshow tent, basically, at the Dade County Youth Fair in Miami. So that was really cool. I still need Charlotte's signature, though. She was not able to stop and give me her signature after the show. I just have Jonathan's. So Charlotte, if you want to give me your signature, that would be awesome. This was a poster from a show that I did locally at the Dutch Apple Dinner Theater with some friends of mine. And it was a fantastic time. I believe this poster was actually created by Jonathan Burns, the comedian and magician. He's a local guy who's fantastic, just a fantastic guy, really, really sweet guy. And also important to me, posters from people that I've known and people that I have not known. So one person that I did get to meet and see twice, Andre Cole, he was a huge inspiration to me, fantastic illusion designer. And then all of these mini posters of the heroes to me of magic, from Norm Nielsen, who we just lost, Channing Pollock, Keller, our hometown Pennsylvania guy from Erie, Pennsylvania, Howard Thurston, Herman, not Alexander Herman. That's Leon Herman. I realized, I'm like, wait a minute, that's Leon Herman. And I checked the write-up on it. Yeah, that's Leon Herman, Alexander Herman's nephew. We're going to pretend that it's Alexander Herman, which I think of when I look at it. Blackstone Jr., Lance Burton. I only got to see Lance Burton for the first time recently. He got me into the IBM. It was really cool. So he signed for me to join the IBM just the other month. Blackstone Jr., really important to me. I got to see him at the Valley Forge Music Fair, back when it existed, when I was very young, and it was always an inspiration to me. Well, I have him, I kind of put my Mingus feather flowers up here, hand-created by Wayne Shiflett at the Mingus Magic Shop. He creates these by hand, taught to him by Charles Mingus. It reminds me of Blackstone's act, and that reminds me of, this right here is an important, the other signature I have up, because this is a friend of mine, Adele Friel-Rendress. She was Blackstone's elusive moth, touring with Blackstone Sr. From 1947 to 1950, and she is a wonderful, wonderful woman, and got to become friends with her. She is really, really cool, and she was my date. She was my dinner date to see Mac King in Las Vegas, the one time that I've seen, that I've been to Vegas with the SAM National Convention. And this is, I was going to put some IBM membership and SAM membership things here perhaps, but I just want to put this up because this actually is one thing that means a lot to me. I try to kind of be humble to what I do and where I'm from, but I just love that my friends, people who are important to me, Wayne and the gang at Mingus Magic named me Magician of the Month in 2016 for that, and for dedication to the art of magic, which just means a lot that my peers thought of me that way. And this is something that I'm actually going to turn into a head twister illusion. That's coming up. Some other things that are coming up. There's a whole story just within the last week that came up on this washboard, and I know it's crazy. There's a story about a washboard for me. Well, you know me, then you know it's not that crazy. This is going to get its own entire video about this coming up soon. The lighting is horrible in here to take videos in that direction, but that's going to become a musical instrument in my act. There's a whole story about that. This is an awesome, awesome thing. I'll tell you some other time. This is where I have, I can put all of my paperwork organized here. Had the flying carpet Osborne illusion right on top there, and I now have a flying carpet in the show, and that's getting worked into the show. I'm still working on theming that just the way I want it, but I have it ready to roll. Otherwise, my square circle with a jumbo rainbow slinky inside of it that I like. Here's a shelving unit for multiple things still have to go in here, but this is the machine that I use for Cards Across. Use that for a Steampunk Unlimited, and use that, debuted it at the Dutch Apple Dinner Theater show that I have mentioned. I have some things that are going into effects. Here's LED units that are going into an effect. That's going to be going in soon. throw streamers and things to produce out of stuff, a bunch of card things, lots of some things that are still just kind of lying around. This is hanging out here. This is the actual prop that I used of the razor blades and thread that I used when I did the stop motion animation for Francis Minotti's X-rays trick, which is where he supposedly shows you how little stop motion people in his belly eat or take the razor blades that he eats and tie them to the string to do the razor blade swallowing trick. So that's pretty fun. It was a good memory of creating that for him. Some things, some magazines and things that still have to be put away. My bunny, my cute little bunny. It's a puppet. Don't tell people it's a puppet. It's a puppet. Hop Along is my bunny. Look. That's how you get to it. Don't tell anyone I showed you that. My business cards and bookmarks to give out are all kind of organized here. My microphone, my steampunk jackalope costume, ears, don't ask, and then this is actually going to be hung from the ceiling. My wife realized that it just makes these awesome cool patterns when this is hung up around my new semi-steampunky sort of light. So that's going to be hung up around there because my wife is really cool. She's like, hey, that looks really awesome around that light, and it looks like a giant eyeball, so you need to do that. So sure, so good. I have a place to hang my hats. Home is where you hang your hat, right? So I have a place to hang my steampunk brown half topper and my black coachman's top hat on some nice swanky little hooks here, so I can be very fancy that way and keep them easy to grab. Of course, I've got all of my cowboy hats. I have 3 different cowboy hats that I use in the act, and then a bunch of other ones there somewhere else. And lastly, I have my cart full of other stuff, which I can push in right into here. And that contains my, that has some of the other things that I just need to store, but I don't really need to get to, and some of my slightly lesser used props, like the table, the pedestal table. This has been somewhat replaced by this one, and my happy amp unit, which is awesome, but I'm using that for the smaller shows now. And that's about it. So let's take a look back around here. Let me swing back around so I can. So I hope you enjoyed that. This is my nice little corner of the world now. It's a place I think is going to be really great for me to continue to create and continue to practice and rehearse, and to create some things for my act that I've been working on and have been looking forward to, and some things for some other magicians as well. So thanks for stopping in. I'm excited to show it to you. I hope you were happy to see it, and I hope you stick around for some other videos and come back. Thanks.